go over brazing with nitrogen. Okay, so number one, we have what's called a compressed nitrogen tank. This is a compressed nitrogen tank here. Okay, secondly, we have our nitrogen regulator. Now, this is my personal nitrogen regulator. It's a Victor Edge. I think this thing was about 200 bucks. You can also get regulators about from 60 bucks up to about 200. What makes this one so special is it has the 2 readings on it. So this gauge will tell you how much pressure you have inside the nitrogen tank. This gauge will tell you how much pressure you're allowing to go through the regulator and into your gauges or into the system. So that's what makes this one so good to me. Now, first thing we're gonna do in brazing with nitrogen is we're going to connect our regulator first. Connect the regulator to the nitrogen tank. You see it has a male thread fitting, so we're gonna just screw it on now. Okay, there we go. So now we got this hand tight. You only want to tighten that hand tight. Never use a tool to tighten that on there. All right, next, we're gonna connect our hose from the regulator to liquid line. Now you can connect it to either line. Now also, my preference is I like to take the Schraders out of both sides. So I take that Schrader valve core out of there and I take it out of there. I like to take both of them out before I braze the nitrogen. Just so there's no chance of building up pressure. All right, so I usually take this side of, you know there's 2 sides of the hose. One side will be straight and one side will be offset. I usually take the straight side and connect it to my regulator. Screw that on just like that. Only hand tight. Never use a tool to tighten that. Now it doesn't matter which side you put the other end of the hose on, but since I'm going to be brazing on the liquid line, I go ahead and just put it on whatever side I'm gonna braze on first. So I'm gonna braze on the liquid line first, so I'll connect my hose to the liquid line. Okay, now that I have that connected, back to the regulator. This knob on the regulator determines whether you allow more nitrogen to pass through the regulator or if you restrict more nitrogen. So if I want to let more nitrogen pass, I'll turn this regulator in the direction of the plus side. What's up, buddy? You walk out here like you wanted something. Get on. I'll turn it in the plus towards the plus, or I can turn it towards the negative to let less out. So essentially all I'm doing is I'm going to open up my nitrogen tank, and I want to make sure that this needle is inside of the orange box that's labeled braze. So we have braze, we have purge, and then we have just our pressure test, different degrees of the pressure test. We only want enough nitrogen to flow through for brazing purposes. So I'm going to turn my nitrogen tank on, and it's already in braze. All right, and like that, from there, from there, I just start brazing. That's it. Considering getting into the heating and air conditioning industry, but don't quite know exactly where to start, hit me up to learn a little bit more.